Are we getting too obsessed with thinness when it comes to smartphones? That's the question many people are starting to ask after hearing rumors about the upcoming iPhone 17 Air. Apple is pushing the boundaries with a new design that's so thin it could redefine the iPhone lineup. But here's the thing, how much thinner can they really go before it becomes a problem? The iPhone 17 Air is rumored to be just 5.5 millimeters thick. Yes, you read that right, just 5.5 millimeters. That's thinner than some of the wallets we carry around and definitely much slimmer than the usual iPhones we've seen over the years. For comparison, the iPhone 17 Pro models are expected to be around 8.7 millimeters thick, which is already considered pretty sleek, so you can see just how drastic this change might be. Tech YouTuber Louis Hilsentigger, known for his channel Unbox Therapy, recently shared his thoughts on the new dummy models of this ultra-thin iPhone. He was visibly stunned by how slim the device looked, but he also expressed concern. After all, of all this extra slimness, there's a real risk that the iPhone could bend easily, something that Apple definitely doesn't want. This concern isn't unfounded. Anyone who remembers Bendgate from 2014 knows that a thinner iPhone can sometimes lead to serious issues. The iPhone 6 Plus, which was the first iPhone to come in a larger size, faced major backlash after it was found to bend when placed under pressure. And if you didn't know, Louis was actually the one who showed the world how easy it was to bend the iPhone 6 Plus, sparking a huge debate. So it's not surprising that he's cautious about this new Model 2. But Apple seems to be learning from its past mistakes. According to recent leaks, the iPhone 17 Air will use a combination of titanium and aluminum for its frame, providing extra strength to keep the phone from bending, even with its thinner design. The idea is to keep the phone looking sleek while still making sure it's durable enough for daily use. It's a tough balance, but Apple might just pull it off. Another key change with this new model is the display size. Initially, Apple was rumored to include a massive 6.9-inch screen on the iPhone 17 Air, similar to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. However, reports now suggest that the company is scaling that back to 6.6 inches. Why? It turns out that larger screens, while visually appealing, can increase the risk of bending. By reducing the size of the display, Apple is hoping to make the device more durable without sacrificing the overall design. Now, the big question is, how will all this affect the battery life? A thinner phone might sound exciting, but it could also mean less room for a decent-sized battery. And we all know that a smaller battery could lead to shorter usage times, which is a huge downside. But Apple seems to have thought ahead. To make space for a larger battery, the iPhone 17 Air will reportedly drop some of the extra camera lenses found on the Pro models. While the camera setup may not be as advanced as the iPhone 17 Pros, it should still deliver solid performance without draining the battery too quickly. Moreover, Apple is introducing a new in-house modem chip called the C1, which is designed to be more efficient. Combined with improved software optimization, the iPhone 17 Air's battery life is expected to be on par with what we see in current iPhones, even with a smaller battery. So it seems like Apple is trying to give users a phone that's thin, powerful, and efficient, all at the same time. What do you think about the idea of an ultra-thin iPhone? Would you trade some features for a sleeker design, or do you think Apple is pushing it too far? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this update, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more news on the latest iPhone leaks and tech updates. What if Apple's first foldable iPhone ends up shaking the entire smartphone market? That may sound bold, but recent reports suggest Apple is finally serious about foldables. And here's what's surprising. Samsung Display will be the only company supplying the OLED screens for this much-anticipated device. Apple had other options like LG Display and BOE from China, but they've reportedly gone all in with Samsung. Even though they compete in the smartphone world, Apple still leans on Samsung when it comes to high-end displays. This update lines up with what analyst Jeff Pugh mentioned earlier. Apple and Samsung had already reached an agreement. While Samsung continues to dominate the foldable phone market, they're also playing a crucial role in helping Apple create a strong competitor. So it's a strange mix of rivalry and partnership. Now let's talk about what the iPhone Fold might actually look like. A popular source from China known as Digital Chat Station shared some interesting details on Weibo. The main screen inside is said to be around 7.76 inches with a resolution of 1920 by 2713 pixels, which gives it a pixel density of 428 ppi. For comparison, the iPhone 16 Pro Max offers a sharper 460 ppi, but the difference might be hard to notice in everyday use. That's still a very crisp screen by any standard. When the phone is folded, the smaller outside screen will still pack a punch. It's expected to measure 5.4 inches and have a resolution of 1422 by 2088 pixels, matching the pixel density of the iPhone 13 mini. This should make the folded phone feel compact and easy to carry, while still giving users a solid display to check notifications, respond to messages, or even take photos. Speaking of cameras, the foldable iPhone could feature an under-display camera on the main screen, making video calls and selfies possible without a visible lens. On the outside screen, there'll likely be a hole punch camera instead. So depending on how you're using the phone, open or folded, you'll still be able to snap selfies or join video calls without any compromise. Apple is reportedly trying to fix one of the biggest problems with current foldable phones, the crease. You know, that line that forms right in the middle of the display after repeated use. Apple's goal is to reduce it as much as possible, maybe even eliminate it altogether. This could give the iPhone Fold a smoother and more durable display than anything else on the market. Now let's talk about the part that will make or break this phone for a lot of people, the price. Reports suggest the iPhone Fold could launch with a price tag close to 2,000 United States dollars. That would make it Apple's most expensive iPhone ever, beating even their Pro Max models. And yes, it's even pricier than Samsung's current foldables. So this is clearly going to be a high-end product aimed at users who want the newest and most advanced features. But here's where things get even more interesting. Even though Samsung is building the displays, Apple entering the foldable space could seriously affect Samsung's own phone sales. Samsung currently owns around 40% of the foldable smartphone market worldwide, but that share has been slipping lately, especially with more Chinese brands making foldables at lower prices. Now that Apple is preparing to launch its own foldable phone, Samsung may start feeling even more pressure. It's an odd situation when you think about it. On one side, Samsung helps Apple bring this product to life. On the other, they might lose customers to that very same product. That's the kind of competitive twist you don't see every day. All this tells us one thing: Apple isn't just testing a new idea. By choosing Samsung as their only display supplier and working on features like crease reduction and under-display cameras, they're clearly putting real effort into making this foldable phone a success. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this update helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tech updates. Can Apple finally get it right this time? That's the question people are starting to ask after new leaks about the iPhone 17 Pro started making the rounds. We're still months away from the launch, but early details are already making waves, especially around the design. And it looks like one of the most talked about complaints might finally be getting fixed. For the last few iPhone releases, the design on the back has been a bit of a letdown for many users. The black camera section paired with a different colored rear panel never really made sense to some people. It looked like two different phones mashed together. But this year, things might be different. Leaked images suggest that Apple is going for a more consistent and clean look, with the camera area blending in with the rest of the back panel. No more awkward color contrasts, just one solid color all the way through. And this isn't just based on some random leak. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who's known for getting Apple news right more often than not, also said in his newsletter that the iPhone 17 Pro will drop the two-tone design. So if that odd design choice was something that stopped you from upgrading in the past, it looks like Apple has listened. Now let's talk about the camera setup. Apple isn't changing the triple lens layout, but they are tweaking how it's arranged. Instead of the current triangular style, lenses will now sit in a horizontal bar across the back of the phone. On one end, there's the LED flash, and just underneath that, the LiDAR scanner. That LiDAR sensor helps with depth and makes augmented reality features more accurate. When Apple first added 3 cameras to the iPhone 11 Pro, people weren't really sure about it. Some even called it strange or ugly. But once people actually saw the phone in person, those complaints faded. The same thing might happen again with the iPhone 17 Pro's horizontal layout. It might seem odd in pictures, but chances are it'll look better in real life, just like before. On the performance side, the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max will be powered by Apple's upcoming A19 Pro chip. This chip will be built using TSMC's third-generation 3nm process, also known as N3P. At one point, there were whispers that Apple would switch to a 2nm chip this year, but that didn't work out. The costs were too high and the supply was limited. So they've saved the 2nm chips for the iPhone 18, which will bring the A20 series chips next year. Still, the A19 Pro chip is no slouch. Even though it's not a huge leap like the 2nm chip would have been, it still brings performance improvements and better power efficiency compared to the previous generation. So if you care about speed and battery life, this new chip is going to deliver solid results. Another change that's getting attention is the possible introduction of a new model called the iPhone 17 Air. This version is expected to be thinner and lighter, replacing a Plus model in the lineup. Apple seems to be focusing more on sleek and modern looks this time around, not just in the Pro models, but across all versions. If you've seen some of the early prototype leaks and were worried about the rear design or the color mismatch, it's probably safe to say that Apple is working to clean things up. They usually fine-tune everything before the final release, so what we're seeing now might not be the full picture yet. With all these updates, the iPhone 17 series is shaping up to be more polished and better thought out. So the big question now is, are you thinking of upgrading this year? Or are you holding out for the iPhone 18 with the newer chips? Tell us what you're planning in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next update.